Although this question is not related to this, but you could get a question like this in the exam, where you have a mixed number, which is sometimes called a mixed fraction, a decimal, and a whole number in one of the equations in a system of equations. And in second equation, you can get a decimal, and a whole number. Now, there are two ways to solve this question. It's either you convert this to a decimal, then convert to a whole number, or you convert this decimal to fraction, which is easier in solving the question in this case. Let's just do that so you can better understand. Let's take equation 1 first. You can't work with a mixed number, so you convert it from mixed to improper fraction. This is not hard. This is just system of equations or simultaneous equations with basic fractions and decimals. So we convert this to an improper fraction. We have 2 times 1, 2, plus 1, 3. So we have 3 over 2x plus, 0.5 in fraction is 5 over 10. Let's do it here. 0.5 is the same thing as 5 over 10. And in its simplest form, you have 5 here 1, 5 here 2. That's 1 over 2y equals 10. For the second equation, we have 0.25x. We can convert this 0.25x to a fraction. That's same thing as 25 over 100. That's just basic math. Converting decimals to fractions. To make it 25 over 100, you need to get this decimal from in between 0 and 2 to the back of 5. So we move 1, 2. And moving 2 steps makes it over 100. If you move 3, it will be over 1000. So you have 0.25 as 25 over 100. In its simplest form, you can say 25 in 25, 1, 25 in 100, 4. So 0.25 is same thing as 1 over 4. Then you have it with the x plus 0.75. You have 0.75. We convert it to fraction. We move 1, 2. That's 75 over 100. You can go with 5 first in both of them. But if you really know this, you can say 25 here 3, 25 here 4. So you have this as 3 over 4. Then with the y equals 7. We converted the decimals to fractions and the mixed fraction to an improper fraction. We can now convert the coefficients to whole numbers. For equation 1, where we have 3 over 2, 1 over 2, and the constant as 10, we find the LCM of the denominators. LCM of 2 and 2 is 2, so we multiply equation 1 by 2. Each of the coefficients and the constant, you multiply by 2. So for equation 1, we have 3 over 2 times 2. You can make it 2 over 1 in bracket x plus 1 over 2 times 2 over 1 in bracket y equals 10 times 2. For equation 2, we have the denominators as 4 and 4. The LCM of 4 and 4 is 4. So we multiply equation 2 by 4. We have 1 over 4 times 4 over 1, that's times 4, with the x plus 3 over 4 times 4, or 4 over 1, in bracket the y equals 7 times 4. For equation 1, you can say 2 cancels 2, you'll be left with 3. You have 3x plus 2 cancels 2, you'll be left with 1, plus 1y equals 10 times 2, that's 20. For equation 2, you have 4 cancels 4, you'll be left with 1. 1 times x is 1x or x plus 4 will cancel 4, you'll be left with 3, because this is 3 over 1, just multiplying fractions. That's simple. The 3 left times y would be 3y equals 4 times 7. 4 times 7 is 28. We've converted both equation 1 and 2 from this to this. They're actually the same thing. You can complete this. You can find the value of x and find the value of y on your own. You could also convert all to decimal, then to whole number. This is 1 whole number 1 over 2. Converting to decimal will be 1.5x plus 0.5y equals 10. Then you have 0.25x plus 0.75y equals 7. The decimals in equation 1 are in one decimal place, while those in equation 2 are in two decimal places. So to get the decimals of, for equation 1, you multiply by 10. And for equation 2, you multiply by 100. Because when you multiply the coefficient of x by 100, you move the decimal from here to the back of 5. That times 100 means you are moving 2 steps. 1, 2. This is just basic primary math. Let's do equation 1. If you multiply equation 1 by 10, you have 1.5 times 10. That will give you 15x plus 0.5 times 10. That means you're moving the decimal to the back of 5. That will be 5y. Then you have 10 times 10. That will give you 100. For the second equation, you have 100 times 0.25. You'll be left with 25x. This is because the 100 will move the decimal from in between 0 and 2 to the back of 5. That's moving it 2 steps. 1, 2. Then you have plus 0.75. 0.75 times 100 will move the decimal from in between 0 and 7 to the back of 5. You move 1, 2. So you have 75y equals 7 times 100. That's 700. Do you know these two are actually the same? Although it seems like they are not. If you divide equation 1 by 5, you would get this equation 1. And if you divide equation 2 by 25, you get this. It's like bringing equation 1 and equation 2 to their simplest form. 5 can go through in equation 1. That's dividing all through by 5. 5 in 15, you would get 3x. Then 5 divided by 5, that's 1. You get plus y, that's 1y, equals 100 divided by 5 would give you 20. You can see we have the equation 1s to be the same. Then for equation 2, they have 25 in common. So you divide all through by 25. That would give 25 divided 25 would give you 1. So you have 1x. That's same thing as x plus 5 in 75. You would get 3. You have 3y equals 700 divided by 25 would give you 28. We can now see that this is the same as this. So if we take this to the simplest form, you get this. Hope you understand. In addition, let's say we have one of the equations looking like this. I want to convert the values in decimal to whole numbers. You take into consideration the constant or the coefficient with the highest decimal places, which in this case is this. This is 2 decimal places, this is 1 decimal place. You take this and decide what you multiply by. In this case, because of this, you multiply by 100. So you have times 100. And this will give you, rather than 0.2, if you multiply 0.2 by 100, you will be having 20x. Then 0.25 times 100 will give you 25. So you have plus 25y equals, then you have 2 times 100, that's 200. If you multiply by 10, you still have this in decimal. That is, let's say we multiply the equation by 10, you'll be having 0.2 times 10, that will give you 2, you have it with the x, plus 0.25 times 10 will give you 2.5. Then you have it with the y equals 2 times 10, that's 20. Here, you're still having a decimal. That's why you have to look for the value or the constant with the highest decimal places to determine the value you will multiply by. Hope you understand.